Hello and welcome to sunny Wales. My name's Damien and this is another Modurol video detailing how we converted our automatic Jaguar XK8 to manual. This is MT30 in the series and we're going to look at the new selector. Obviously we've changed gearbox from a Tremec to the ZF S6-53 as used in the 2.7 litre S-Type diesel, and in this video we're going to look at the differences between the Tremec gear selector and the S-Type one. We'll show you the part numbers specific to this gear selector if you're interested. We'll actually show you how simple it is to fit to the gearbox, and checking the pitch to the front flange here. Then there are a couple of small issues we need to address: the gear knob and the rear selector mount. So there you go. Okay then, so if we look at the differences, so this was the gear selector I was using, or that came off the Tremec. Now this was a customised version of an old gear selector concept as used by British Leyland back in the 80s with the Rover SD1 and Triumph TR7, etc. So first of all, this is practically a one-off. All the machining here is very expensive. It's got a linkage underneath. Some of the parts aren't available anymore. So realistically, it's quite complicated and quite expensive. Plus, this whole thing is bolted directly, solidly to the extension on the T56 Magnum. So it pretty much vibrates together with all the vibrations coming from the transmission or the gearbox. Now, if we look at the S-Type gear selector, I mean, first of all, I didn't mention, but we've got a very nice sort of knuckle point. This has no wear in it, as I had wear in the previous one, if you see in the previous videos. And it's got rubber bushings at the front mount and rubber bushings at the back mount. And there's rubber in the actual gear stick itself. I think you can see in here. And this is actually production ready. Jaguar have spent a lot of time getting this right, and it's a quality product. So why reinvent the wheel? So really, it's one good reason to go to this S-Type gear, try the ZF gearbox, because that gear selector is just super. Before we move on, we'll look at the underneath. You can see here, this is the gearbox end, and you've got this knuckle. So this is another one. You can see the spring pin engages all the way through. There's actually a plastic liner on the selector shaft. It's actually attached with a clip that can actually be released fairly easily. Need to find that quick. Aside, that actually flew off quite a way. Yeah, so that's the spring clip on there. I'll put that back on, keep it safe. And we've got a similar thing going on at the other end. There's another spring clip. Interestingly, the bottom of the selector is actually plastic. This is actually plastic. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to create a short shifter here, because obviously that would mean elongating this ever so slightly. But with it being plastic, I might have to make a new one if I go down that route. But there you go, there's the bottom of the S-Type diesel shifter. So fitting then, so we have the pair of pins these are actually plastic pins. I assume it's because it's got an aluminium cast mounting, so these pins will not wear the aluminium away as would a steel one. And then we got a spring pin that actually goes in the knuckle here. So very, very nice fixing points. So if we now introduce the gear selector, oh sorry, that should be underneath. Sorry, now if I introduce the gear selector, these pins, if I put one to the side, they just push in the side. So let me get the thing underneath there. Pin. Well, sorry, before I do that, you'll notice these are all rubber bushed, isolated, so help to minimise the vibrations. So that just pops on there, and there's a little clip here, pushing into place, locks in. Simplicity itself. And there's another one on the back. Do the same thing for the top. Then finally, the knuckle. Just get the selector in position, and the knuckle and the selector locks together with that pin. There you go. There you go. We're all together. It really is that simple. Okay, finally then, there are a couple of minor issues. First of all, the old gear sticks, so most of the gear sticks actually are threaded on the end of the gear selector, as well as a Tremec. But unfortunately, for some reason, Jaguar has chosen on this gearbox to use a square-ended gear selector, which I assume has a grub screw holding on. So I need to find a gear knob for this. The gear knob didn't come with it, and actually the standard ones are quite expensive, so I need to find a solution for that. I may possibly take this all apart, turn that down and put a thread on it, but it is aluminium, so that might not be good long term. So the gear knob is one minor stuff. I can cope with these minor ones. And the other one then is I need to figure out how to mount this gear, this rear shift mount, which has got this nice rubber isolator on. You can see here. I'm not sure, chances are these holes won't line up to anything, so we might need to fabricate something else to do that, but I'm sure we're quite capable of fixing these minor problems, relatively minor problems. While I've got the gear selector here, one interesting thing is this actual collar. Now I don't know whether you see this, there's a huge collar on here with a grub screw fixing it. Now that is only a weight, so this actually adds weight to the gear lever, and it actually has some adjustability. You can move that up and down the gear selector shaft to change the feel of your gearbox, or the amount of momentum you have when you're moving the lever, which is quite interesting. I didn't realise Jaguar would put a piece of weight on it. But anyway, that's an interesting thing. Right then, despite those minor issues, I think you can agree it's a far more simple selector to fit to the gearbox, and the pitch is perfect, so hopefully this is going to go a lot smoother. Anyway, the next video in our series, we're going to look at positioning the gear position sensor, the magnetic sensor. Now, on the previous gearbox, the Tremec, we actually found two positions for this sensor that worked okay. But so we need to find a position on this gearbox now. So we'll go into that detail in our next episode. If you're interested in following the day-to-day progress of our manual transmission swap, you might want to like our Facebook page, Modurol. Also, if you're interested in the details and the specifications, gear ratio, all the fine detail, we're actually sharing it through our website, www.modurol.co.uk. So the whole idea of this project is sharing how it's done, revealing all the secrets, if you would. So we're doing that through the videos, through Facebook and through our website. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series of videos. If you do, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos. Okay, bye-bye.